Okay, we are live. So thank you very much, everybody, for coming back. And this is the Town of Lake Cowichan regular meeting of council this Tuesday, June 22nd, 2021. And the time is 6:39. This meeting is being held electronically at Lake Cowichan as per Ministerial Order M192. Before we call it to order, I'd like to acknowledge that this meeting is being held on the traditional unceded territories of the Subasset people of the lake, where we live, work, and play as neighbors. So with that, I'd like to call this meeting to order and ask for any introduction of late items, Mr. Fernandez.
None for me.
Thank you very much. No other hands. So I'm looking for approval of the agenda as presented, please. Moved by Councillor McGonigal, second by Councillor Austin. Any further discussion there? All those in favor? Opposed? Seeing none, the motion carries. Thank you very much. Next, we have the adoption of the minutes from the regular meeting of council held on May 25th, 2021. If there's no errors or omissions, looking for a motion to approve those minutes. Moved by Councillor Sandhu, seconded by somebody. Councillor Austin, thank you very much. Any further discussion on those minutes? Then I'll call the question. All those in favor? Opposed? Seeing none, motion's carried. Thank you so much. Moving along then to item number 4, business arising unfinished business. We have none. Delegations and representations, we have none. And with that, we'll move to verbal comment from the public on subsequent items on this agenda, at which time they'll have a maximum of 3 minutes to speak. So the phone number to call in if you have a comment on items on this agenda is 250-749-6681. That's 250-749-6681. Or you can email them quickly to general@lakecowichan.ca. That's general@lakecowichan.ca. We will see you back at 6:44. Thank you very much.
John, did they move the minutes?
Yeah. Why?
Okay. Oh, I was keeping minutes, but they moved the agenda, but I don't think they moved the minutes.
Yeah, I thought they did. Yeah, they did.
Ronnie, we don't have to keep minutes anyway, because we're going.
Just a reminder to staff that you're unmuted.
I'm muted.
Boy, we're forever. You're muted. You're unmuted. You're muted. You're unmuted. Oh, you can't win, can you, Jess?
I never thought I'd say that to Mr. Fernandez. This is a long 3 minutes.
Nothing at all.
$6:44 it is. Mr. Fernandez?
There's nothing.
Nothing at all.
All right, thank you very much. That means we can move along to item number 7. That's correspondence. First item is an action item from Lake Cowichan School, request for honor of Social Justice 12 student annually by the municipality. Hope you've all had a chance to read that letter. And Councilor McGonigal.
I'm muted.
I was gonna say it.
You would have caught me,
Yeah.
and I would have been inputted into the Webster's Dictionary as a new item. But I'm going to move this to budget discussions for 2022.
All right, thank you very much. Second by Councilor Sandu then. All those in favor of moving that over? Yeah, great, thank you. None opposed, motion carries. Okay, move along to the next item, information and consent. The first item is the Ministry of Forest, Lands and Natural Resources. Quite a lengthy letter, but I hope you've all got the gist of that. Are there any comments about that letter? You might note on the bottom that they will be reaching out, it says, to the mayor and virtual. They're going to do a series of virtual town halls around the province, I understand, and involve municipalities, which is part of the new stepping forward and creating new policies. So haven't heard from them yet, but it hasn't been several weeks. I don't know what several weeks is, but we'll wait patiently for that, and I'll let you know when that comes about. Any more discussion on that? Councilor McGonigal.
I look forward to the report, moving forward and looking at forest modernization. I think given some of the events that we've witnessed, that it's highly overdue and has been in the books for some time, but COVID, I believe, may have had something to do with the absence of any work being done on this. So I look forward to the report and what comes out of it.
Thank you very much. All right. The next item is correspondence from the Ministry of Municipal Affairs, Investing in Canada Infrastructure Program, involving the upgrade and retrofit and modification of existing municipal hall. I believe Mr. Fernandez would like to make some comments there.
Well, it was bad news really from the ministry. I've sent them a response and haven't heard back.
Okay.
And we're moving ahead with work on the hall. I believe next week we'll be doing some test holes and moving from that point on. I guess there's no looking back now.
Okay, thank you very much. And that's sad news, of course, but I think we're all on the same page where we can say we're looking forward to moving forward. Councillor Vomaka.
Thank you. I have a question to our CAO. With the rising cost of construction, do you think that that's going to impact us now that we've waited?
Yeah, that's a good question. I don't have an answer, but we will know after next week, probably after we put out the tenders.
Okay.
We'll have a better idea.
Okay, thank you.
Good question, Councillor Vomaka. Thank you very much. Any further questions on that letter? Okay. All right, we can move along to letter number 3 in this section, Corporation of the District of Saanich regarding British Columbia Climate Action Revenue Incentive Program, the CARP, and it is ending. So any comments from staff on that?
Yeah,
Will
this
affect our municipality?
it will affect our municipality. We get about $8,000 or so dollars each year. So it will not have the same impact as it does for larger municipalities. But it will still be 0.5% of our tax. You know, it'll impact us to the tune of 0.5% of a tax increase.
Okay, Councillor Sandu.
Thank you. I was just, we should support this. So this recommendation going to UBCM because it impacts us a little bit, but it does impact every municipality in BC. So,
Mr. Fernandez.
Yeah, I think the resolution basically is asking for an alternate source of funding for, in place of this. So that may work out to our benefit, maybe. So if they want to end CARA, maybe we should be looking at something else that takes its place.
Councilor McGonigal.
And we're not the only community, or Saanich is not the only community that has brought this issue forward. I believe it was also discussed at AVICC on moving forward with concerns on ending the CARIP. I'm sure it will be coming forward as one of the limited resolutions at UBCM virtually this year. So at that time, I would think we would have our input on either reinitiating this or looking at a different source of funding to accommodate the shortfalls.
Okay, thank you very much. Anybody else have comments? So we'll look forward to seeing how to support that at the upcoming UBCM. All right. No other hands, so we can move along to reports. And the first report on the agenda is the Finance Administration meeting from June 8th, 2021. Councilor McGonigal.
Thank you, Mayor Day. I'd like to move the minutes of the Finance and Administration meeting held electronically at Lake Cowichan as per Ministerial Order M192 on Tuesday, June 8th, with the following recommendations. That the committee recommend that the town of Lake Cowichan support the initiative to request a province-wide ban of anticoagulant rodenticides as submitted by the District of Sauk and other municipalities. Also, that the committee recommend approval of the Lake Cowichan Fire Department's incident report in the amount of $8,450.37 for April 2021. And with those, I will move those minutes.
Do we have a second, or Councilor Austin? Thank you. Any further discussion on those minutes? Then I'll call the question. All those in favor and opposed, motion's carried. Thank you very much. The next minutes are for the Public Works and Environmental Services meeting held on June 15th, 2021. Councilor Austin chaired that meeting. So Councilor Austin, I'll ask you to move those minutes.
Thank you. I'd like to move the minutes of the Public Works and Environmental Services Committee held electronically at Lake Cowichan per Ministerial Order M192 on Tuesday, June 15th, 2021 as presented.
Thank you very much. Seconder, please. Councilor Sandhu, thank you. Any further discussion on those minutes? Then I'll call the question. All those in favor? Opposed? Seeing none, the motion carries. Thank you. Next, we move to the Parks, Recreation and Culture Committee meeting minutes from June 15th, 2021. Councilor Austin again, please.
Thank you, Your Worship. I'd like to move the minutes of the Parks, Recreation and Culture Committee held on June 15th electronically at Lake Cowichan as presented.
Thank you very much. Seconded by Councilor McGonigal. All those in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you very much. So I'm going to pick on Councilor Sandhu for this one, but it's an easy one. There were no recommendations, but if you'd like to bring up the strategic planning agenda, you can confirm that yourself, and I'll ask you to move those minutes for myself of the strategic planning meeting that was scheduled and held on June 8th, 2021.
Excuse me.
Thank you.
Take your time. Sorry, I didn't reach out to you earlier.
There were no motions. Is that correct?
Yeah. So you'd like to move the minutes?
So I'd
as
like to move
presented?
the minutes of the Strategic Planning Committee held on Tuesday, June 8th, 2021.
Thank you. That's awesome. Thank you. A seconder, please. Councilor Bomaka, any discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you very much. That moves us along into other reports here. Not quite, but the Cowichan Lake Recreation Commission, there was no meeting. Next meeting is July 22nd. So I'll move along to the Couch or Vancouver Island Regional Library meeting. Either Councillor Austin or Councillor Vomaca, do you have a report there tonight for us?
I was absent from the meeting. I don't know whether my alternate, Counselor Austin, has any updates.
Councillor Austin, please.
No, I wasn't sent any information about the meeting, so I haven't got any updates. Sorry.
And there may not have been a meeting, so I guess
Yeah,
we can check.
I'll
We'll,
check. Yeah.
get you folks to check back and we can talk about it next time. All right. So Advisory Planning Commission, Councillor Austin.
Oh, I'm on again. Thank you. The meeting was held on Thursday, May 27th. Basically, the contract planner spoke on the amendments to the sign bylaw and highlighted the following. The sign bylaw will apply to all areas of town. No more than 2 temporary signs to be allowed on a commercial frontage. Political signage was clarified because that's a separate issue. And he'd made a correction of an error on one item. They also asked about the temporary signage and different other things, including the little book, what do you call those little book things that they have on the sides of
Book
the
library.
book libraries? Yes, because I have one near me. And the next item was also about width of sidewalks, which they discussed again. And the contract planner made a PowerPoint presentation of the plan prepared by Urban Systems. I had to leave just at the end of that because we had the ABICC. Our next meeting is this Thursday, and the sign bylaw will be the update for the sign bylaw will be presented at that time.
Thank you very much, Councillor Austin. It's a good report, so we'll move along now. Any questions for Councillor Austin? Then we'll go to the Community Forest Co-op and go to Councillor McGonigal, please.
Thank you, Mayor Day, fellow councillors. At each council meeting, I've been asked to report on Community Forest Co-op. And at each meeting, I've said, because of public health orders, we have not been meeting. Tonight, I am happy to announce that we did follow public health protocols and met as a board. During conversations, you'll recall in my CBRD reports, I had mentioned about Couch and Hospice a number of times and great work that they do. It just so happened that a few members of the board were watching that and became quite emotional, remembering their time with hospice and other communities. So I would like to read you a media release from June 14th. This is from the Couch and Lake Community Forest Co-op and the Couch and Hospice. It's a dual media release. And it says, for immediate release, today the Couch and Lake Community Forest Cooperative announced it is donating $100,000 to support whole person care at Couch and Hospice House. So it goes on to mention the secure medication room that the Forest Co-op is sponsoring. And that will be in the name of Couch and Lake Community Forest Co-op in perpetuity or until renovations are done. I'd like to quote the chair who said, "We are excited to be able to donate to Couch and Hospice to show our support for such important care for patients, family, and friends during their time of need. Additionally, the hospice also frees up acute care beds in the Couch and District Hospital." Also from the Couch and Valley Hospice Society, quote, "We are delighted to have this level of support from the Couch and Lake Community Forest Cooperative. This incredible gift will help ensure that families across our region facing serious illness, caregiving, and bereavement will have the care that they deserve now and for the future." I think what it shows is the opportunity for community-based and community-controlled forestry and the legacies that can be left behind in that. When control is given to the community and expenditures reside within that community, legacies are left for many years to come. Both communities, the Pachidat and the Couch and Lake Community Forest, are in a 50-50 partnership in Kalayat, and have left many legacies throughout our territories and theirs. So with that, I'm proud to announce the board unanimously decided to donate to Hospice House and reach out, not just in the West End, but where regional care as well, looking beyond just our own neighborhood. So I was honored to join a few other directors on the Cowichan Lake Community Board and the Cowichan Hospital Board for that presentation. The picture is on the website or will be. And any questions, I'd be glad to answer.
Thank you very much, Councilor McGonigal. That's great news for a very important facility. And having been around at the first inception of that idea a few years back, it's great to see that it's up and running. And I know somebody that works in that facility, and happy to report that all the funded beds by Island Health are occupied, and it's really serving the community well. So great news, and great news that the Community for Us Co-op can help out there. Any other comments from members of council? Yeah, and I can totally relate, Councilor McGonigal, to the emotions on this, because every conversation I've ever been in on this there's been tears in the room. So it's a pretty emotional feeling to be able to give to that. So thanks.
If I may just follow up with a short comment. I recall a presentation by Gretchen Hartley, who is the executive director, at a board meeting pleading for a grant and aid to continue the service on the one bed Gibbons Road facility, and then to see the facility in its current state and the community that embraced that idea and donated, and Cowichan Hospital Board donated money, individuals, and made it happen. And it's not just for the core area. It's a facility that will be utilized by the region as a whole. And unfortunately, perhaps some within our own community. That's why we felt it was a worthwhile project.
All right, thank you much again. So with that, now we can move on to other reports, and have a sip of your water, Councilor McGonigal, because next up is the Cowichan Valley Regional District Board meeting. Over to you, Councilor McGonigal, again.
Thank you. I needed that water. I do have meetings starting tomorrow at 9:30. I'll be attending the regional services meeting. I have asked my alternate director to attend the board meeting. I have another obligation virtually on another subject. So I will be attending the regional services, and Councillor Sandu will be attending the board in my absence. So from the regular board meeting on June 17th, I got to get through the in-camera stuff. I'm not going to share that with you. Director Morrison, as the president of AVICC, gave a synopsis of the virtual AGM and convention activities and how it was streamlined but very well organized, and the uptake was mutually consensual that it was a great success. So he shared that with all of us. We did have correspondence for CBRD to have virtual meetings with Minister Osborne and various other entities on some topics that they wish to discuss with those ministers, similar to what we have done. And I believe it is the Minister of Municipal Affairs that will be looking at meeting with at that virtual opportunity. Also, that funding applications be submitted to Island Coastal Economic Trust Economic Development Readiness Program, say that 5 times, and Northern Development Initiative Trust Connecting British Columbia program to support the development of Cowichan connectivity strategy. One is for flood management on the Cowichan Function 530, Cowichan Flood Management. Another is the construction of the Cowichan Valley Trail roadside trail which connects Chemainus Road between North Watts and Green Hill Drive. Include development of a designated parking area at North Watts Road, funded by $300,000 in budget 280 regional parks, and $150,000 grant from Trans Canada Trail Foundation. There's been considerable input from both the communities of Ladysmith and further electoral areas north of Ladysmith on safety issues within that portion and the amount of usage that it does receive and the need for some safety concerns. So that will be implemented in this project. Grant and aids for Cobble Hill schools, Francis Kelsey, various other grants and aids from various directors, and applications for amendments, etc., within the electoral areas, which municipal directors do not have input on. And with that, I will move those as my report, Mary.
Thank you very much for that report, Councilor McGonigal, and Councilor Sandu. Are you going to stay up late tonight and read your agendas? Yeah, it's a big job. All right, so that we can go to Community Outreach Team Committee, and that's Councilor Austin.
Thank you. No meeting this month. We probably won't meet until September.
All right, thank you very much. And we can move along now to our Cowichan, Councilor Sandu.
Thank you. We did not have a meeting in June, and our next meeting is July 8th. I just wanted to, under our Cowichan Health, announce the vaccination clinic at the community Cowichan Lake Recreation starts tomorrow. So the 23rd, 24th, 26th, 29th, and 30th. So it's important for our community to know we have a vaccination clinic in our community. For those that have not registered, they are accepting walk-ins. So please get your vaccination.
All right, good call out there. And pursuant to today's earlier conversation with Island Health, where some of us were able to listen and give input, the school, Lake Cowichan School, has posted on their Facebook and sent an email out to all their email addresses. So that's good news.
Good.
Because it was noted today on that call from Michael Lowe that they're starting to see variants of COVID-19 that are affecting youth in not such a good way. In the United States, I believe they were mentioning some outbreaks there. And so it's important that population gets in and gets vaccinated. So thank you very much for bringing that up to Councillor Sandu. All right, so we'll move you along to the Cowichan Watershed Board now. Once again, Councillor Sandu. Oh, Councillor Sabamaki, you have a comment, sorry.
I had a question to Councillor Sandu. Is that the only 5 days that the clinic is going to be here, or is that just for the June?
Talking at the meeting today, they didn't say anything other than what they've scheduled, but depending on.
So on the uptake, they might add more.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, they said they might do this style again after the second dose. See what happens there. Councillor Austin, you had a comment on that?
Yes, with Island Health, the nurse I worked with 2 weeks ago said every other Tuesday they might be doing COVID clinics at CATSA. We do well baby the first and third Tuesday, so it would be the opposite ones. They told her that that's what would probably happen, so that will be something that will come up in July. If people.
All right.
And
we'll
Councillor,
okay.
Councillor Austin, I signed up for some shifts to volunteer at the vaccination clinic at the arena. So.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's my understanding that all vaccination clinics and the like will be announced first by Island Health and their media releases too. So those are the ones we can rely on and follow through with and get the word out, because they're sort of desperate for us to get us up to the 80% level in the Cowichan Lake area. Right, good comments, good conversation on that. Okay, Couch and Watershed Board, Councillor Sandhu, thank you.
So our next meeting is this Monday, and the board is actually possibly going to be meeting in person under, the safety protocols. Dr. Waters, Shannon Waters, is on our watershed board, so she's pushing possibly for us to meet in person, safety protocols in place. So I will let you know next month.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, that'll move us along to staff reports then. Director of Finance, read the Statement of Financial Information 2020, Ms. Gill.
Thank you, Mayor Day. The Financial Information Act requires that the town submit annually to the Ministry of Community, Sport and Cultural Development by June 30th every year, a copy of the audited financial statements. And this has been previously presented to council. And the following are also required to be submitted and are attached for council approval. There is the Statement of Financial Information Checklist, the management's responsibility for financial reporting, the schedule of debts, the schedule of guarantee and indemnity agreements, the schedule of remuneration and expenses, a schedule of supplier of goods and services, a schedule of severance agreements, and finally, the statement of financial information approval that will be signed by the CAO and mayor. So as I stated earlier, with the exception of the financial statements that were previously presented to council, the documents listed above are attached for council approval and council resolution. Thank you.
All right, any comments, or could we move and second the acceptance of the Statement of Financial Information for 2020, moved by Councillor Sandhu, seconded by Councillor Austin. Okay, we'll go to Mr. Fernandez when he unmutes.
Of the report.
Sorry, we can't hear you. You
It
missed
will
half.
be approval and not acceptance.
Okay, the approval, sorry. So the motion, again, if that's okay with the mover and seconder, to approve the Statement of Financial Information for 2020. All right, thank you very much, Mr. Fernandez, for correcting that for me. And any further questions on that document? Pretty straightforward. All those in favor? Opposed? Motion carried. I guess we'll move forward with signing then. Thank you very much. Next item on staff reports is the development permit application for lot 17, section 5, Renfrew District Plan, BIP 54940, otherwise known as 275 Castley Heights. Mr. Fernandez.
Yes, this subject property is located in an area known as hazard lands. And so there's a requirement that they apply for a development permit, and based on the contract planner's recommendations, we think that it could be approved, subject to the conditions he spelled out, that no retaining wall should be over 2 meters, and prior to the issuance of a building permit, there's got to be a professional geoscientist who confirms the structural integrity of the whatever is being built there. So
Okay.
we need council recommendation, approve.
Yeah. All right, Councillor Mackley, you got a quick comment then?
Yeah, and no, I just have a quick question. So on the background, it says the site is encumbered with an encroaching fence and carport on the north side of the property. So how does that get rectified?
Mr.
I can answer
Fernandez?
that. I can answer that. It's been rectified, already been taken care of.
Good catch, Councillor Omaka. Thank you very much. So looking for a mover and a seconder on the recommendation, if that's the desire of the table. Moved by Councillor McGonigal, second by Councillor Omaka. Any further discussion on the recommendation? Then I'll call the question. All those in favor? Opposed? And the motion carries. Thank you very much. Okay. That moves us along to bylaws now. And we'll go to bylaw under A, Town Lake Couch and Zoning Amendment Bylaw number 1058, 2021. May be read a third time as many of you are already aware, this was the topic of the previous public hearing earlier this evening. So with that, we'll go Councillor McGonigal.
Thank you, Mayor Day. Given the considerable interest, both pro and con, and some clarification questions that I do have, I would like to refer this back to staff for implications on strategic plan, whether it fits our long-term strategic goals, any departmental issues, etc. Given that a majority of the comments did revolve around the project and not the rezoning, I think it's important that we have as much information to make an informed decision for the whole community, which is our fiduciary duty. And without that information, I am not comfortable making a decision tonight. So I would like to refer this for those clarification questions at the earliest opportunity.
Councillor Sandu.
I'll
You're seconding?
second.
All right. Just to clear, is staff clear on the request?
Yes.
All right. Okay. So thank you very much. I guess we don't have a mover and a seconder for third reading, and that would negate the call for any further discussion on this item. So that means we can move along now to new business. Councillor Sandu. Oh,
There was
gotta
a
call the
motion on
question.
the floor. There's
Right,
a
thank
call
you.
the question.
Yeah, I'll call the question on that motion. All those in favor? Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you very much. Okay, now we can move along to new business. Cowichan River Water Supply, Cowichan Lake Weir Replacement Project Update. Everybody's read that letter, I guess. All right. I just highly recommend that everybody tries to tune into that public meeting. And from my experience, and I was at a shoreline assessment steering committee meeting, and it's amazing information, but not something that a lay person could really explain. They do such a great job, and you'll be really impressed at the work they've done, and with the Weir project and the shoreline assessment as well. So you're in for a good presentation on information on that project. Okay, Councillor Sandu.
Could we get this date and whatnot on our website and social media pages, just for the public?
Fernandez, could you look after that for us? And perhaps all of us put it in our own calendars as well. Okay. Then we can move along to number 11, which is the mayor's report. Okay, this is my mayor's report for June 2021. Well, another month's passed, and by all indications, we're in for some warmer weather, and that means the tourism season is about to begin. For some of this may bring us frustration, but we all need to realize that tourism dollars spent in our community means that our local businesses and our local economy in our community will prosper and continue to serve us all for 12 months of the year. On a more important note, I would be remiss if I did not state that the COVID-19 pandemic is still with us, and all of us should continue to adhere to the public health orders and recommendations put forth by the Ministry of Health in the Restart Plan. As you may have heard in the news, the Cowichan Lake area has one of the lower rates of vaccination in Island Health region. In response, Island Health has opened a drop-in vaccination clinic at the Lake Cowichan Sports Arena on June 23rd, 24th, 26th, from 9:30 a.m. to 4:30 on those dates, and on June 29th and 30th from 12 to 6:30. The clinic will administer the first dose of the vaccine to anyone aged 12 and up on a drop-in basis. And if you wish to call ahead and register, they will also give you the second dose if you qualify. This is not a time to let our guard down concerning COVID, as new variants start to have serious impacts with people unvaccinated, especially youth. Protecting our families and our communities must start with each of us. Island Health is striving to have 80% of our community vaccinated so we can be safe and also match the region's rate of vaccination. Let us get this done so we can all be together again. On a final note, on behalf of council and myself, I would like to thank staff in all the departments for their continued hard work and dedication. It shows both on paper and in the way our community looks, especially this time of year. So thank you very much to you all. And that is my report for June 2021. Thank you. So we had no notice of motions added to this agenda, so we can move to question period. And that means we'll be back in 3 minutes. You can call your questions into 250-749-6681. That's 250-749-6681, or email to general@lakecowichan.ca. See you back at 7:23. Okay, it's 7:23, folks. Just wait for everybody to come back. Mr. Sandhu, Ms. Gill, and Councillor Romaka, are you with us? Thank you very much. And Mr. Fernandez, any questions or comments via email or telephone?
Your worship, none.
Okay, thank you very much. So with that, folks, thank you to the public who turned up for the public meeting tonight and tuned into this meeting on our YouTube channel. And thank you to council. And we do have an in-camera session tonight. So we need an introduction of the reason for going in camera, Mr. Fernandez.
Yeah. Section 92 of the community charter requires that before a meeting or part of a meeting is to be closed to the public, council must state by resolution why the meeting is being closed. And the main basis on which the meeting is to be closed falls under the following sections of the community charter. Section 91C on labor relations or other employee relations, and 91E on the acquisition, disposition, or expropriation of land or improvements.
All right, with that, looking for a motion to go in camera, moved by Councillor Sandhu, second by Councillor Bomaka. Any further discussion? Okay. Are we waiting for another invite, Mr. Fernandez?
Yes, indeed.
All right. See you all in a few minutes. Thank you very much.
Okay, bye-bye.